Hey y'all, what up? It's Daniel, Chicago Cane Cooperative. On location here. This is Chicago. When it's nice out, we take advantage of it. So we don't get a lot of this. And of course, I've got the puppy here. I'm on single parent duty. Okay, so if you watched part 1, you know that we use a Kveik yeast at Chicago Cane Cooperative to make our spirits. Kveik, K-V-E-I-K. It's Norwegian for quick, like quickening yeast. It quickens your bread. Get it? They're their own family of yeasts from Western Norway. You know, we're talking about a brewing tradition that goes back over 1,000 years in this part of the world. So these yeasts have been passed down from generation to generation for well over 1,000 years, which is crazy. And it's part of the domesticated Saccharomyces cerevisiae strains of brewer's yeast. But generally speaking, people who have access to mass-produced bread yeast from a supermarket, they will just stop upkeeping their strain that they got from their grandma, their grandpa, their neighbor, whoever. And the reason that these yeasts survived in this part of Norway is because this part of Norway is so remote, they didn't have access to these kinds of markets, which is really crazy. So these parts of Norway that are really remote, little valleys and fjords, I'll try to throw up pictures, these people just kept using their grandma's yeast. They couldn't go to the store and get baker's yeast. They kept using their grandma's yeast, their neighbor's yeast, their uncle's yeast, whoever. And that means that these yeasts have been isolated from the rest of the European yeasts and shaped to do what the Norwegian brewers do. And so what's really special about these yeasts that's taking off in the beer industry now is that they can ferment at really hot temperatures, they can ferment at really high ABVs, and they give a lot of like really lovely fruity flavors without giving phenolic off flavors. They're POF negative, unlike Saison yeasts and Hefeweizen yeasts that are very POF positive. Hey, it's Editing Daniel real quick here. I wanted to come in real quick on the Kveik rings that people use, or yeast rings more broadly that we use. We're using them now. It is a traditional method of how these people kept Kveiks alive. It is one of the several methods. It's literally a braided wooden ring that people dry the yeast on. We're really excited because doing it this way means that because of genetic drift and using the yeast over and over again, we'll kind of start to develop our own version of this Kveik that we're using. Really cool, leaning into this heritage method of managing the yeasts. I hope the photos and videos that I'm putting up now kind of help illustrate. We love this in our rum. The tropical notes are incredible. The fact that it can ferment really fast at high ABV is incredible for us. But it's not just how good it is at fermenting. That's a huge part of it. But the other really big part of it is the fact that we're using heritage yeast. This feels like we're connected to a tradition that goes back a really long way. And Chicago in the Midwest has a deep connection with Scandinavia anyway. There's a lot of folks that settled around here from Sweden, Norway, Denmark. Stay tuned for part 3 on the Pombe yeast, which is the other yeast that we use. With that, peace, mucho amor.